Hello learners, this is Sam from Tiger Schooling, and today we are going to talk about the gametogenesis. So here today we are going to talk about the gametogenesis, which is actually a process through which the sperm we are going to find we are going to get sperms or gametes through the process of spermatogenesis from the cells. All right. So to be specific, actually the gametogenesis has been divided into two types. All right, because in gametogenesis we have we want to get the male sperm and the female egg. All right. So what happens? In the male spermatogenesis, in the male it happens as spermatogenesis because we need sperms. So in the male the gametogenesis process is called spermatogenesis, and in the female the gametogenesis process is called oogenesis. So let's start from the male. So what happens in the initial phase? The cells of the gametes are the initial cells are called, which are 2n in number. Remember that they are diploid. So what happened? They're spermatogonium. All right, we call those cells spermatogonium, and after those spermatogonium, it undergoes a process called mitosis. So we all remember through a mitosis process we get equal number of daughter cells. Why we call them daughter cells? Because the mother or the female have the ability to produce more. Male have no ability to produce. So that's why the cells are called daughter cells, specifically not son cells. You never heard a son cell. You call the daughter cell. So through this process, through the process of mitosis, we get spermatogonium. Or there is only one mitosis. Remember that. And that spermatogonium is going to convert into the primary spermatocytes. So we have the double N number, which is the spermatogonium, and the primary spermatocytes. So spermatogonium is going to convert into through a process of mitosis into primary spermatocytes, and from there the process is going to occur. The meiosis is going to start. There would be only one process of meiosis, but the meiosis itself consists of two parts: the meiosis part and again the meiosis 2, which is similar to the mitosis, but it's not mitosis. It's the second part of the meiosis. So what happens in the first part of meiosis? The 2n, the double N number, divides into single N number. Alright, from diploid we are going to the haploid. So the initial two cells we are getting are called the secondary spermatocytes. Remember that. Spermatogonium, mitosis, primary spermatocyte, and from that, through the process of meiosis 1, we are going to get secondary spermatocyte, and again through the process of meiosis 2, we are going to get the spermatid. Alright, spermatid are not mature because they haven't got tail and other features. So for the spermatid, which are actually the final cells, but they have to get mature. So they wait until they get mature, and finally they are converted into the sperm. So nothing difficult. You have to remember. You have to just remember it like this. There's only one mitosis and one meiosis. Remember that. One mitosis, one meiosis, and we know that meiosis has got two parts. That's it. One mitosis, one meiosis to get a sperm from a spermatogonium. Alright? Simple. Remember this. Spermatogonium convert to primary spermatocyte, that is going to convert into secondary spermatocyte, that is finally going to convert into the spermatid, which are not actually mature. After maturation, these spermatid are going to convert into the sperm. So this process is kind of similar to the oogenesis, which is the formation of egg. Alright, here we have a picture. If you're a pre-medical student, you might not understand it, but maybe you have heard of it. The eggs are actually matured after puberty. Remember this one. This is really important. We have eggs, primary ooze, in the form of primary oocytes that are not actually mature, which are not actually mature before birth. But in male, it's another story. But in female, it's not the same. You know what happens? The initial cells are called the oogonium, which are actually converted before birth. Remember that before birth they are converted into the mitosis, through a process of mitosis into primary oocyte, and they are going to stop there, and they are produced in the embryo. Remember that they are produced remember that one thing more, all oogonium are going to be converted into the primary oocyte. Nothing is going to be left for the anything for after birth. Every oogonium is going to be converted through a process of mitosis into the primary oocyte, and primary oocyte is going to wait after puberty, after birth and after puberty. That primary oocyte is actually going to convert into that matured cell, not the oogonium is going to, because oogonium before birth is going to be completely converted into the primary oocyte through a process of mitosis. All right. So we got primary oocytes, but as we get birth and after we reaching puberty, which depends on female, it's different, in males it's a little bit different. And after puberty, this primary oocyte, which is already residing there, is going to, through a process of meiosis, is going to convert. Is actually through a continuous process. Is going to convert into the secondary oocyte, similar to this one. Remember this, the secondary spermatocyte from the male, through a process of spermatogenesis in male. Here we got a secondary spermatocyte, and that is after puberty. All right, we also get a polar body. So what is the concept of polar body? From one oogonium, remember that we get only one egg, and other three cells, which are called polar bodies, are actually going to be destroyed. They are of no use. So what happens here? We get we got one polar body, one egg, and it's further going through. It's because it's a meiosis. We have to go through another process, but which is actually not shown here. We get other, because this is going to be divided. We get other polar body, and from this we also get another polar body, and finally we get this egg. So there would be three polar bodies, which are actually not shown in this picture, which is pretty wrong. But you would have three polar bodies in the final stage, and that three polar bodies are going to destroy it because they are too small, and actually their job is to provide with nutrients and whatever they got to the main egg. And finally the polar bodies are destroyed, and this egg is finally going to get mature. All right, and finally this sperm and egg are going to come together, and they go through a fertilization, and further from fertilization all the process go on. So this is all the basic idea of the gametogenesis, which explain about the spermatogenesis and oogenesis. And if you think you want to learn more, and if we can make things easy and better for you, please make sure to tell us, and we can teach it as easy as possible. Thank you.